VOA reporter Adam Phillips lives in the heart of New York City, the epicenter of COVID-19 in the U.S. He survived lung cancer, which he contracted after inhaling contaminated air from debris following the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Adam, who is now recovering from prostate cancer, spoke to me earlier about his weak immune system and his fear of contracting coronavirus.
I'm recovering now from prostate cancer. I had my prostate removed on February 25th, just before the coronavirus crisis really hit big time in New York. And it was fortunate in a way that I had the prostate cancer removed when I did, because after that, the hospitals were functionally closed for most people without COVID. And my own immunosuppressant drugs make me very, very vulnerable to COVID. So it's been kind of a scary ride for me and my family, although I think we're on the other side of it now, even though COVID is still with us.
A lot of people with underlying health issues were very fearful of going to visit doctors. Did you have that fear?
Well, I did actually had a fear of that, and justified, because hospitals are very, very full of infection. I had an infection after my prostate surgery, and my fever was so high that my doctor told me I must go to the emergency room. And when my wife dropped me off, this was in the middle of March, she didn't know if she was going to see me again, because she wasn't allowed to come in with me. And if I did have COVID, it was very possible that I could die there. And so that was a very, very scary moment for us.
Are you able to socialize? Are you able to go out? Are you fearful of, getting infected?
I wear a mask when I go outside. I keep 2 meters distance between me and anybody else.
You've said you were born, bred, and buttered in New York City. Now, let's talk about another health issue that you had to deal with after the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
Yes, well, I unfortunately 3 years ago in 2017, I had lung cancer. And both this prostate cancer and the lung cancer that I had before was linked to 9/11, because I was reporting from ground zero for many, many months, right in the center of where all the debris and other things were from the World Trade Center destruction. And so sort of this disaster is sort of linked in my mind to the 9/11 disaster, because it's sort of a continuous problem. The medical issues are a result of that.
Are you going out now to do any reporting?
No, I'm not reporting now at all in person. I'm doing all my interviews on computer and on Zoom and on Skype, such as we're speaking right now. A lot of people can't work from home, and those are the people I really worry about, the people who work in the supermarkets, the delivery people, restaurant workers, all kinds of people that don't have the luxury of working from their house. And I'm very conscious that I'm very fortunate to be able to continue and to have a job at all in these times.
New York has been a very busy city. It's a 24/7 kind of city. It's a buzz all the time. So what is the atmosphere like right now, Adam?
It's a very strange city right now. I mean, I love the city and I feel for it. I mean, there's a lot of grief in the air, partly because of all the deaths. But when you drive around, which I have been doing a little bit, it's unbelievably quiet. There are very, very few people on the streets. I go to Times Square, which is usually just swamped with people. And now it's sort of almost like an empty street.
What are people missing most?
Well, they're missing the concerts, the venues, the restaurants, the bars, the cafes, the street light, the street performers, hanging out together. I mean, New Yorkers are very social people.
So, Adam, we know that a lot of people are not working. Businesses have closed, and New York City might take even a longer time to reopen, even partially. Do you have any concerns that some people may be evicted and perhaps become homeless?
There's a moratorium, or at least an ease of demanding rent, but that's going to end also. So I'm looking towards some huge numbers of evictions, and the crime will go up because people need to feed their families. And, if they can't get any money from a job and they can't get any help from the government, and they still have stomachs and children that they need to take care of, I think the police are preparing for a lot of problems. The crime figures have actually gone up recently, so maybe that's a trend. One hopes not.
Adam Phillips is a VOA reporter in New York.